Have you ever stopped to think that the first signs of your divine mission might be hidden in the details of your childhood? Those seemingly insignificant moments, filled with intense emotions, unique quirks, and specific challenges, could be a message from something greater. A subtle but powerful guidance echoing deep within your soul, like a divine whisper saying, "You were chosen." Life has a mysterious way of shaping us, especially during childhood, when we are most sensitive and receptive to what lies beyond the visible. It is no coincidence that you faced certain challenges or felt things others around you seem not to notice. These moments, often filled with pain, introspection, or unusual joy, were like marks on your path, drawn by a higher force to reveal your purpose. Today, we invite you to explore these signs, to recognize that every detail of your journey up to this point was carefully planned to awaken the chosen one within you. There is no mistake in your story, not even in the hardest parts. Everything you've lived through was designed to bring you to this moment. Here begins a journey of spiritual discovery, where we revisit 5 signs that may have appeared in your childhood. These signs are not just reminders of your potential. They are invitations for you to embrace the mission that has always been in your heart. Are you ready to dive in? Let's begin. When you always felt different. From an early age, something about you seemed to stand apart from what was considered normal. Perhaps you were the child who observed the world in silence while others were engrossed in simple play. Or maybe you asked questions no one seemed to know how to answer. Why are we here? Or what happens after we die? Your mind was like an expanding universe, exploring ideas that seemed distant to those around you. This sense of difference, often mistaken for loneliness or inadequacy, was actually an inner calling. Your soul, connected to a higher frequency, was whispering to you that there was something more, something beyond what the eyes could see or words could explain. That discomfort of not belonging was, in truth, a sign that you were destined to walk a unique path. Philosophers like Soren Kierkegaard describe this feeling as the mark of the singular individual, the one called to transcend the ordinary and live in connection with the divine. You were not made to follow the crowd but to be a guiding light. It is important to understand that this difference was never a mistake or something to be corrected. On the contrary, it was a gift. It was a reminder that your spiritual essence was deep and rich and that you were here for something greater. Every moment you felt out of place was the universe nudging you, preparing you for the mission only you could fulfill. If this sense of difference resonates with you, embrace it. Recognize that it has always been a clue, a reminder that you are special. You were chosen for something extraordinary. 2. You had a spiritual sensitivity from a young age. As a child, there was something about you that seemed to pick up on what others couldn't perceive. Perhaps you felt a deep connection to something greater, even without understanding concepts like God or spirituality. Maybe you were captivated by gazing at the starry sky, as if it held secrets only you could feel. Or perhaps you experienced vivid dreams, sensations of déjà vu, or an intuition so sharp that you inexplicably knew what was about to happen. This spiritual sensitivity was more than a trait. It was a portal. A natural opening to higher dimensions, which children often carry before being shaped by the world's expectations. While others were immersed in everyday distractions, your soul sought to connect with something deeper, something eternal. Perhaps you experienced moments of loneliness as you contemplated things others seemed to overlook. Do you remember feeling the presence of something invisible yet undeniably real? As if a greater force was by your side, even when no one else understood what you were sensing. That was your spirit tuning into higher frequencies. Your soul, in its purity, was connected to the divine. This sensitivity was not just a characteristic. It was a spiritual compass pointing to the mission reserved for you. Spiritual philosophies worldwide acknowledge this innate connection. In Hinduism, it is believed that some souls carry samskaras, imprints of past life experiences, making them more inclined to seek truth from an early age. In Christianity, there is the concept of a divine calling, a feeling born in childhood that guides one throughout life. At the time, you may not have understood why you felt everything so intensely, why you wept at seemingly simple things or found joy in moments others considered trivial. But this sensitivity was preparation. It was as if the universe was training your heart to recognize the sacred in everything. Now look back and ask yourself, when was the first time you felt something greater guiding your life? What moments in your childhood revealed this intimate and pure spiritual connection? These episodes were not mere coincidences. They were reminders of who you are and who you are destined to become. 3. You faced obstacles other children didn't. From a young age, your journey was marked by challenges that seemed too great for someone so young. While other children lived carefree lives, you may have faced moments of pain, loneliness, or early responsibility. Perhaps your childhood was filled with family conflicts, bullying, significant losses, or the need to mature faster than you would have liked. These experiences, though difficult, were not accidental. They were fertile ground for the strengthening of your soul. Just as steel is tempered in the heat of fire, your essence was being shaped by these adversities. Each hardship carried a greater purpose, even if it was impossible to see at the time. Spirituality and philosophy teach us that suffering, though painful, can be a bridge to something greater. Viktor Frankl, a philosopher and Holocaust survivor, described suffering as a catalyst for finding meaning in life. He believed that by discovering purpose in our pain, we transcend it and become more complete beings. For you, these childhood challenges were more than tests. They were invitations from the universe to discover your inner strength and embrace the purpose only you could fulfill. Reflect on the moments when you felt overwhelmed by situations that seemed beyond your ability to handle. Those moments may have taught you lessons that could only be learned through perseverance. Perhaps they revealed the value of resilience, empathy, or faith. And now, looking back, you may realize that these obstacles were not punishments but disguised teachers. In many spiritual traditions, the chosen often undergo challenging journeys from a young age. Moses in the Bible was abandoned in a basket on the water before becoming his people's leader. Buddha faced the world's suffering upon leaving the comfort of his palace, leading him to enlightenment. Like them, you too were prepared through these difficulties for something greater. Whatever burden you carried, it was not in vain. It was shaping your soul, preparing you for the mission that lay ahead. Every tear, every moment of doubt, and every seemingly insurmountable challenge was, in truth, strengthening the foundation of who you would become. Now ask yourself, how have these challenges shaped the person you are today? What precious lessons did you carry from those moments? And above all, how have these experiences connected you more deeply to your mission? For you were a magnet for people or animals in need. From an early age, it seemed as though those who were suffering naturally gravitated toward you. Perhaps it was schoolmates seeking your companionship in moments of loneliness, friends needing a shoulder to cry on, or even animals that felt safe around you despite being strangers. You were the one who, even without fully understanding why, offered comfort, calm, and safety to those who were wounded emotionally or physically. This was no coincidence. This magnetism you possessed was, and still is, an expression of the divine light within you. This light, even as a child, was perceived by others, even if unconsciously. It was as though your presence said, "Here you are safe. Here there is space for healing." This ability to attract those in need is a reflection of a greater mission. It is evidence that your soul was designed to heal, protect, and transform. This does not mean you are obligated to carry everyone's burdens, but it does mean that your energy has a restorative power, a vibration that touches the hearts of those who need it most. Think of the times when someone, perhaps a stranger or a friend, came to you seeking support, even if you didn't have all the answers. Perhaps you simply listened or were just present. And yet, that presence was enough to bring some form of relief. This is the power of your essence, a force that even in silence acts as a balm for others. The chosen have this gift because they are part of a larger plan, where their actions, no matter how small they seem, create waves of transformation. Your compassion and ability to provide solace are spiritual tools that not only help others but also guide you toward fulfilling your divine purpose. Now, reflect on the moments when you touched someone's life without realizing it. What have they taught you about your role in this world? How have these experiences been clues to your mission? By acknowledging this gift, you align yourself more deeply with the purpose for which you were created. 5. You always felt a strong search for truth and justice. From an early age, you felt a profound discomfort in the face of injustice. Even as a child, it was as if a flame burned inside you, yearning for a world that was truer and fairer. It could have been something as simple as an unfair playground game or something larger, like witnessing inequalities that felt wrong, even without fully understanding the context. This unease with imbalance and your relentless search for clarity are not mere personality traits. They are a calling, a reflection of the fact that you were shaped to be an agent of transformation. The chosen carry within them an unshakable moral compass because they are designed to bring more light to places where darkness prevails. Your soul understands that living in falsehood or passively accepting imbalance goes against the divine nature that guides creation. The search for truth is more than a desire, it is a spiritual necessity. It is as if you are constantly trying to align what you see in the world with what you feel it should be, a reflection of universal order. In philosophy, Plato described the pursuit of truth as a journey out of the cave. He spoke of the importance of seeing light beyond shadows, understanding that truth is a responsibility. Those with the courage to see beyond the superficial become, in a sense, guardians of light. Yet this also comes with a burden. Once you perceive the truth, it becomes impossible to ignore. Often this search can be challenging. Perhaps you felt misunderstood, labeled as critical, or even difficult. But this sensitivity is not a weakness, it is a rare spiritual strength. It shows that you are in tune with the divine purpose of bringing harmony and integrity into the world. The chosen often feel this weight. They are called to live by and defend higher values, even when it requires courage or sets them at odds with the status quo. And though the walk may be difficult, it is also deeply transformative. Reflect on the moments when you felt compelled to speak the truth or fight for something even if it meant going against the tide. Those moments were not accidents. They were invitations from the universe to step into the role you were designed to fulfill. In practice, this pursuit can manifest in many ways. Perhaps it's a need for honesty in your relationships, a desire to bring clarity to complicated situations, or even a fight for larger causes that benefit others beyond yourself. This characteristic is both a blessing and a constant reminder of your mission. You were not called to accept the world as it is, but to help shape it into something more aligned with the universal principles of love and justice. Now pause for a moment and think, what does truth mean to you? How have you lived your pursuit of integrity and authenticity? This reflection may be the first step in recognizing that your life is no accident but a carefully planned journey by God to bring more light into the world. Throughout your journey, life has given you subtle, and sometimes not so subtle, clues that you were chosen for something greater. From the feeling of being different to the spiritual sensitivity you've always carried, these signs are like pieces of a puzzle revealing the divine purpose for your existence. The challenges you faced in childhood and the difficulties that seemed unfair were not punishments but opportunities to learn. Every obstacle shaped your strength, every wound deepened your compassion, and every search for truth sharpened your connection to the divine essence within you. The journey of a chosen one is unique. It is not just about overcoming challenges or achieving goals, but about transforming every experience, good or bad, into wisdom and light. You were not called to live an ordinary life. You were called to be a beacon of transformation in a world that often forgets its own light. Your difference is what makes you special. Your sensitivity is what connects you to the divine. Your strength in the face of adversity is what inspires others to find their courage as well. And your pursuit of truth is what guides you and those around you toward a path of greater authenticity and purpose. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Every step you take toward your mission echoes in the hearts of other chosen ones. Together, you form a network of souls working silently to heal, transform, and elevate the world. So, the next time you question the challenges you faced or wonder why you always felt different, remember this. You were chosen. You are part of a greater plan, carefully designed to bring more light, truth, and love to this world. Now, I invite you to reflect on what we've shared today. Which of these signs resonated with you? How can you begin to embrace your journey with more love, courage, and purpose? Share your reflections in the comments, because your story might inspire others to find their light too. If this video brought clarity or motivation to your life, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Every interaction helps spread this message and connect more people to their spiritual mission. And remember, your journey is unique, your light is needed, and your mission is divine. You were chosen, and the world is waiting for everything only you can offer.